You are wearing a mask right now, not one you can see, not one you can take off. This mask lives inside you. It shapes your voice, your smile, the way you say, "I'm fine," when you're not fine at all. Carl Jung had a name for it, the persona, and he warned us about it, because if you never take it off, you will live your entire life as a stranger to yourself. This video will not be comfortable because the persona isn't something other people do. It's something you've been building since childhood. Smile by smile, silence by silence, achievement by achievement. And now, you don't know where the mask ends, and you begin. That pacing makes it cinematic. 1. Add pattern. Interrupts. Every 2 to 3 minutes, add a direct hit line like, "Be honest." You've felt this. You know exactly what I'm talking about. This is where it gets uncomfortable. These snap attention back. 2. Sharpen some lines. The persona creates the ultimate tragic irony. The persona does something cruel. The better you perform, the more alone you become. Because people fall in love with the mask, not you. And deep down, you know it. 3. Slow down the shadow section. This part is your retention engine. When you say, whatever you repress, you project. Pause, then repeat it slower. Whatever you repress, you project. That repetition increases authority. There's something else Jung noticed, something even more unsettling than the persona. He realized that when we build a mask strong enough, we don't just hide parts of ourselves, we abandon entire lives. Think about that for a moment. Not just emotions, not just desires, entire possible lives. The musician who became an accountant, the writer who became a manager, the explorer who became someone who never leaves their comfort zone. None of these choices are necessarily wrong, but something happens when you ignore a calling long enough. It doesn't disappear, it waits. Jung called this the unlived life. And the unlived life has a strange way of haunting us, not loudly, but quietly, like a question that never goes away. What if? What if I had tried? What if I had been brave? What if I had chosen differently? These questions don't always come in your 20s. Sometimes they arrive at 40, sometimes at 60, sometimes in the middle of the night when everything is silent, and suddenly you realize something terrifying. You built a life that looks correct, but it doesn't feel like yours. Jung believed that inside every adult, there is a child that never disappeared. Not metaphorically, psychologically. That child still remembers things you have forgotten. What made you curious? What made you laugh uncontrollably? What made time disappear? Before the persona, before expectations, before the world told you what you were supposed to be. That child knew something honest. But when the persona becomes too powerful, that child goes silent. Not dead, just silent. And sometimes the emptiness adults feel is not depression, it's distance. distance from the person they once were. Jung believed healing often begins with a strange question. What did I love before the world told me what I should love? And the answer to that question can change everything. There is a reason people hold on to the mask so tightly. It isn't just habit, it's fear. Because if you take off the persona, something dangerous happens. You become visible. And being truly seen is one of the most terrifying experiences a human being can have. When someone sees past the mask, past the performance, past the identity you've carefully built, they see something vulnerable, unfinished, imperfect, real. And many people spend their entire lives avoiding that moment because the persona offers protection. It says, if they reject me, they rejected the mask, not me. But when the mask comes off, there is nowhere left to hide. And that is why authenticity requires courage, not the loud kind, not the heroic kind, the quiet kind, the kind that says, I will risk being misunderstood so that I can finally be real. Jung once wrote something remarkable. He said, the privilege of a lifetime is to become who you truly are. Not discover, become. Because the real self is not something you simply uncover like buried treasure. It is something you build, piece by piece, choice by choice. Every time you choose honesty instead of performance, every time you admit something difficult about yourself, every time you confront the shadow instead of pretending it isn't there, you move one step closer to becoming whole. Not perfect, whole. And that wholeness has a strange side effect. Life becomes quieter, not empty, just quiet. The constant internal battle, the exhausting effort to maintain an image begins to fade. And what replaces it is something Jung believed was the true goal of psychological development, inner peace, not because life becomes easier, but because you are no longer divided against yourself.